Hey guys, this is Chauncey from Session Stories, and today we're joined by Dilemma District, a rising indie rock pop band bringing a fresh sound to the scene. Their sound echoes the likes of The Strokes and The Kooks, modern and vibrant with a nostalgic 90s alt-inspired twist. Their new single, Out of Balance, explores themes of disconnection, reflection, and navigating emotional tension. And we're so thrilled to have them on the show today. So welcome, Dilemma District.
Yo. Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. So first things first, the name. I'm sure a lot of people also want to know, like, what's the story behind the name of Dilemma District? Where does it come from? Is there a meaning behind it?
So Dilemma District first started with just me recording songs. And when I recorded my first single, I wanted to release it. I needed a name. And the goal was always to have a band at the end. So I needed a band name. And I'm a huge fan of like alliterations.
Yeah.
So I love the word dilemma. I thought it looked cool written down. And so I was like brainstorming with a friend of mine, and he came up with district. Like, what do you think about like Dilemma District? How does that sound? How does that look? And I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it. So that's the story behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the story behind how the band actually met? So you're from London, he's from England.
True.
So how did you guys all come together as a band?
I guess, when I moved to Berlin like 5 years ago, I actually initially moved here because I wanted to do music. I was doing music in London before, and I was like, struggling. London was just like oversaturated with musicians, and I was struggling with just trying to live basically as a musician there. So I thought Berlin would be better, easier, a little bit cheaper, okay, let's go for it. So then came over, Corona hit, bam, all the music dreams out the way for a bit. But then I was like, okay, I need to get into a band. And then a friend of mine, she's a florist, she like sent me this post on Instagram of Kian looking for a guitarist. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, like check it out. And so I messaged Kian, and then we came down here to the studio and we just like chatted, basically talking music for like hours.
Yeah.
Like super nice connection straight away. And yeah, since then, when was that? Was that like 3 years? No, 2?
It was December of 2022.
December 22.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times. Long time ago.
But there's other people in the band, right? Or is it just...
Yeah.
So you can't see them? They're just here.
Oh, I see them now.
No, the other people, actually, it's kind of funny. So I played in lots of bands. And I always play with a good friend of mine, like my best friend, Yoni, and he always played guitar.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I think a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I told him like, man, we can't find a bass player. You need to play bass for us now. And he's like, fuck, okay, I'll do it. And he just like learned in the last year to play bass, and he's like incredible. And so he's our bass player now, and he's doing an amazing job. He loves playing bass, by the way.
I think he bought like 2 basses since he became a bass player. Like,
he's like gone like into it.
Like gear nerd bass player now.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love that.
And our drummer, he just joined in January. I know him since I think like 10 years. We played in a band together as well 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we kind of like lost contact. And as a friend of ours, he told me that he's still playing drums and I should contact him. So I wrote him, and he was like, yeah, I could come over and let's have a jam, and worked out.
Yeah.
So now we're a band.
We had our fingers crossed for him. Yeah. We were like, okay, because he said at the beginning, he was like, not sure if like I've got the time and stuff. And we really had to like be on it when he came down, because we were like desperate for a drummer, but it's worked out really, really nicely. And so like 3 Berlin guys and 1 British dude.
Sounds like the start of a band.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the title of the single, so Out of Balance, is definitely a strong title. So what does that phrase mean to you, and how did it influence maybe like the overall message of the single?
What do you think, George? I wrote the lyrics, but I always like love how my bandmates think about stuff. I had the feeling when I wrote the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a personal kind of thing, but I always loved what people make of it. So let's hear George. What does he have to say about it?
Put me on the spot. Yeah, I think it's. I think it was a really strong name as well when I first heard it. Out of Balance, always like, it's this feeling of like uncertainty, unsettlingness, and we were actually just talking about it earlier. And you know what? I kind of thought, out of balance, it can kind of come across as something maybe that's bad or like a bad feeling. and we're all trying to like chase this balance in life, but it can also be kind of interpreted for me in a way that like when you need change, and we were talking about the meaning of the song and how it's about somebody who maybe needs to break ties from a relationship or from these family ties or like family patterns basically, and the way to do that is to throw yourself out of balance. Maybe you need to cause some in order to create change. You need to rock the boat a bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this feeling as well. That's the kind of like out of balance that I interpret it as well. Yeah. So I think that's what we're getting.
Yeah. And then if you guys had to pick a track from the new single that you feel most represents you as a band right now, which one would you pick and why?
I would say On the Brink. It has this melodic side to it and pretty like chilled vibe, but we're also like into rock music.
Mm-hmm.
And so the hook is more like the rock side of our music. I think the song is a good song to like understand the band and their music. It's like a bit of both.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a mix of everything in there. Like you said, like the choruses, the verses are a little bit more melancholic, a bit more chill, and then it comes in like it's also got that like funkiness to it as well, which we love. And yeah, of course, got a little guitar solo in there.
You need to have a guitar.
So I need one of those.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then so compared to your debut album or your debut EP, Translucent, I think that came out in 2022.
Yeah.
How do you feel the band has like grown or shifted creatively, with this latest release?
Yeah, like
there was no band.
There was actually no band. Yeah, it was just me.
Well, how do you feel your sound maybe has grown?
The good thing about music in a band is that you come up with a song and you play it to the guys. Everyone can like has their own spark and like things to put into it.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing. I finally reached the goal that we have a band now. I always hated like playing music just on my own and recording it on my own.
Ideally, what do you hope people feel or think about when they hear like a Dilemma District song?
I think music is always, it's obviously it's expression of emotion, expression of feeling. And so I hope they get this feeling of like, like a story, I guess, like hearing a story and feeling emotion, maybe writing something a little bit, feeling some moments of like, some deep feelings, but also this feeling of like, oh, fuck yeah, I just want to like jump around and have a great time and like live life, I think that's the celebration of like all feelings of life. I think that's hopefully what people get from the music and not just like one thing. I hope that people are going to be absolutely going fucking wild. And, chucking beer everywhere. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, very cool. I definitely think your sound, there's a mashup of a lot of different genres and fusions and styles, let's say. So how would you personally describe your sound if someone was like listening to your music for the first time? I mean, I think indie rock is just very flat. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So flat.
Good question. I'm not like into genres really.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a genre. It could be how you like would describe your sound. It could just be like, I think we're badass. That could be your sound. I don't know.
Smash rock.
It's like dreamy, poppy rock music that has a lot of heart to it.
It is a little bit like gazy at some point. So maybe like a creeper with a they just kind of smack you.
Creeper dream pop.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Creeper dream pop. Exactly. Yeah. There we go.
And then do you guys like pull inspiration from current artists in the indie scene or even rock scene? Or is it more like older classic influences? Or would you say it's like a mash of both?
It's a good mash of both. But right now, I'd say like the music right now in the indie scene and rock scene is by far the best I've heard for the last like 15 years. So bands right now that are coming up, I'm just like blown away by it. I think right now it's an amazing time to be in a band. I think, you have these incredible bands out there and they're such a huge inspiration for us. For me, at least.
Yeah.
The oldies are always amazing, but they're getting older and older, And when I see them live, I'm like, no, I enjoyed the younger bands before them, maybe like the gig before a bit more.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Same as you, mate. Same.
And then who would you say are some of like your artist influences? Like who are you listening to a lot at the moment?
For me, it's of course Fontaine's DC. I mean, that's one of the biggest bands right now. No brainer. And there's this band called Mannequin Pussy from, I don't know, somewhere from the States. They are incredible. They dropped an album last year in February, I think, and that's huge for me. I listen to that album all the time, and this little, no, they're not little anymore. Like, they're kind of huge now. They tour with idols and stuff. This band called English Teacher. They are amazing too. They are like really into like jazzy kind of like, you know, not for. How do you say that in English? Like
full form, just like straight. Yeah.
Like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard jazzy, or like more.
Not like the hard side of King Gizzard.
Okay. Yeah.
More like a soft indie poppy rock jazzy style, I think.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way that I lean a little bit more. I'm quite like, in terms of what I listen to a lot, or like listened to a lot up until now, like has been a lot of like more like R&B jazzy sort of like music. I love the South London jazz scene, a lot of like Tom Misch, Jordan Rakei, this sort of stuff. So that's like where my big influences come from, I would say, like musically. But yeah, I listen to everything. I love it all. And I love rock music. I mean, like grew up listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers, Arctic Monkeys, all the classics, and still love them, you know. But I agree that there's a lot of really, really cool, like Australian indie scene. I've been like picking up on a few, some tracks there, and also the Irish like rock scene as well. Really big at the moment, loving it all. So yeah, hopefully it keeps giving.
As you mentioned in the beginning, like I think for me, when it comes to my whole life, the Strokes was like the biggest thing for me. And
don't get him onto the Strokes. It's like go really for hours. It'll be days.
The Stream song, you sound so much like the Strokes when you're singing, like a lot.
Really? Which song? Sorry.
It's the
Stream song. Oh, the Russian Stream song. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound a lot like him in that song. When I heard it was like the Strokes or a bit of the Kooks in there. And from the Kooks, but yeah.
Yeah. I also thought that it's like sometimes he send me a song. I'm like, is it Julia Casablanca, or is that you, man? I have no idea.
I need to like figure out my own style now.
Well, it still sounds like yourself, but there's just some subtle influences.
Yeah.
That's true.
We're good.
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean, you need like your idols, you know, like in order to grow and to be inspired by. So I think that's it's important to have those people that you look up to and that you get inspiration from, for sure.
Now that the single's out, what's next for the band? Like, is there new music in the pipeline? Do you guys have any live shows coming up maybe?
There's lots of music in the pipeline right now. So I think in 2 weeks, we will release our 4th single.
Oh, cool.
And after that, so I think in a month, we will, in 20 days or something, I don't know, we will release our first album.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Right. Yeah.
Do you already have a name for the album?
Shape for the Absent.
Did you say absent or absinthe?
Absent.
Okay. Very cool. That's exciting.
Lots of new music coming in the next weeks. And then we're like just starting to rehearse for live gigs. I think we have one live gig that we will play in summer in Berlin. I think it's on the 16th of July.
Yeah, we just confirmed it. Actually, looks amazing. The venue's super cool. How many details can we give about it? We didn't discuss this before.
This tiny concert location at Wiener Straße. It's called Wild at Heart.
Okay.
It's this tiny like punk rock club, I'd say.
Yeah.
But they always have this thing on Wednesdays where they present new bands. So they said we could play there, and it's for free.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Come down.
Yeah.
Keep it free.
Everyone should come.
16th July.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So then there's just like the fun questions. So what was the first album each of you ever bought or streamed on repeat? Do you remember?
Linkin Park.
Oh, that was yeah.
Yeah, that was my first album that I bought. Either that or White Stripes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The red cover one.
Red cover one.
Yeah. Button to button. That is like, oh my God, one of my favorites. How about you?
Strokes.
Probably.
Well, I didn't like buy Strokes records because I was like 9 or something, or 8 when my sister showed them to me. But I think when I had my own money, I instantly went to the record store and bought Conk from the Kooks. Yeah. I think that was like my big old time, like that was my Bible at that time when I was like maybe 12 or something, 14. Yeah. I think that was the first album I really like bought.
I'm happy I picked 2 influences that you actually like. Can you imagine? I picked
Yeah.
you hate, and you're like, oh,
That's I'm not like into the Kooks anymore, but as a child,
yeah,
I went to every concert. I saw them
I
like
never
10
saw them
times.
live, actually.
the CD with the smiley face on it. I think mine was Blink-182.
Yeah.
No, it was Californication. That was my very, very first CD that I made my mom buy me because I was
Yes.
I was a
By
kid
the
when
way,
Californication came out. So
yeah. I think, by the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers, I had that one as well.
Did you say like the self-titled Blink-182 album as well?
yeah, that was in middle school actually, but the one with the smiley face on it.
Yeah, I think that's the self-titled one. I think that's the best album.
So yeah, I had a horrible obsession with them growing up. But yeah,
This album is incredible.
Yeah.
Love that album.
I had a Green Day album as well.
with the heart on it with the grenade.
I think so, yeah.
Well, American Idiot.
American Idiot, yeah. I had that one.
Huge.
And also Elefunk.
Oh, it's
From Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed
Peas.
Man, they're great. There's some classics in there, man. Some bangers.
Or Fergie went rogue. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I won't disclose any more, otherwise I'll lose more credit.
Well, I mean, the next fun question was: is there a guilty pleasure song that would surprise your fans if it showed up on your playlist?
For George, pretty sure it's a techno song, right?
I also coach spinning, so I listen to a lot of like electronic music and do a little listen to a lot of techno. But I would say I started listening to a lot of like love songs recently. We were listening to "Kiss Me" the other day. Do you know the song?
Kiss me, I hate it. By 6 Points.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a guilty pleasure song. That's a classic.
It's a great one. Yeah.
It's a classic.
Okay, something worse than that. Oh, I can't think of anything.
Well, I think I really love like 2000 poppy stuff.
Yeah.
I have 3 sisters. They always listen to Gwen Stefani. I'm so in love with this song called "Cool." I think that's an amazing track.
Yeah.
That one is one of my favorites.
I love that song, so it's also not the word. But yeah, those were the main questions I had for you guys. So I guess like any final words that you want to leave your fans or the listeners with?
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Actually, we're so small and we're just in the beginning. And without you guys, we can't really do anything. And we're so happy that people really listen to our music. I couldn't imagine it.
That's what happens when you put out good music, you know?
I know, yeah. The response has been great. Really amazing. Really, really fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And looking forward to...
Maybe tell everyone where your show is again that you're having. So
16th of July, Wild at Heart, free entry. Just come down and don't be scared to talk to us. We are just normal people. I know. Crazy, isn't it? We're just normal people. But yeah, please come have a chat with us. We'd love to meet you. So yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
Feel unnoticed as a man.